since we're on the topic of AI and RAM, and actually we didn't talk about RAM, but we'll talk about RAM now. So, I don't know if you heard about this, but SK Hynix runs out of replacement SSDs and defaults to original purchase price refunds. So, it appears that they are not honoring at least what people assume a warranty is supposed to do, because the prices of these devices have gone up so high that they claim, at least, they don't have any replacements. Now, do I believe them? No. What do I think is actually happening? They don't want to eat the price of a warranty, because it was totally fine to eat the price of a warranty when the price you paid, or the price of the new device is the price you paid, or maybe a couple of dollars more expensive. Better yet, in some cases, a couple of dollars actually cheaper. There was a time, okay, where PC hardware, this is going to sound crazy to anyone who is like 5 years old and wasn't around like a few years ago, there was a time that PC hardware got cheaper. Nah, that's crazy. You mean you could buy... Okay, this is going to sound insane. You could buy a 500 gigabyte drive, okay, and then 5 years later, buy a 2 terabyte. 2 terabyte is now the price of the 500 gigabyte. You could buy 16 gigs of RAM, upgrade a couple of generations later, buy 64 for the price of the 16. That's impossible. That's fucking impossible. Yeah. I don't believe them for a second. They've run out of replacement SSDs. Yeah, if you've run out of replacement SSDs, give them a different SSD. Because a original price refund is not a warranty. Because if you then try to buy an SSD for that price, you're not getting as much SSD at all. I don't know where the person was from that had this happen to them. Because this very well may run afoul of certain countries' warranty guarantees. It might be in their small print. Blah, blah, blah. This is, we say we can't do it. Where I had a picture here that had a picture of their email. Yeah, here it is. They are in Texas? TX? Presumably that is Texas? Texas. Yeah, okay, you're in America, so you have no consumer protections. Okay, maybe that's, maybe that's a problem. But if you're in countries like Australia, if you're in Europe, places like that, we have these things called laws, and companies have to follow them, or they get in trouble. Yeah. You're in Texas, though, so sucks to suck, I guess, because they get to fuck you, because they get to say what their warranty terms are, and you don't get a fucking say in that. I don't know if Texas has any, like, guaranteed level of warranty. I would presume it doesn't, because it's the United States, and it's the United States, and consumer protections just don't exist over there. Yeah. Another similar one. Best Buy repairs customer's gaming laptop by simply removing half the RAM. Claims unit in question only accepts 32 gigabytes despite listing a 64 gigabyte configuration. Like, this can't be a real story. This can't be a real... Like, this has to be fake. The headline doesn't reflect the article. The repair tech stated the unit will work with 32 gigabytes, but send the other stick back with the laptop, meaning there is a possibility the RAM channel died in this particular one. Okay. If half the RAM was faulty and the customer didn't want it paid for it, it was repaired under warranty. Oh. Okay, so yeah, it was a warranty repair. Again, warranties exist, but again, this is in the United States. So, look, I'm not gonna say, I've not fully looked at the, yeah, it's saying this was repaired under warranty, and they tell me this computer will only accept 32 gigabytes. So, wait, no, this is actually funnier. This is so much funnier. The device information. 64 gigabytes of DDR5. This unit only accepts 32. One stick of 32 gigabytes had to be removed and sent back to the client with the unit. Wait, okay. So, what... Was it faulty RAM? Or is it a fault... If it's faulty RAM, like, it should be stated here. If this is, like... These repair notes are terrible, by the way. Oh, so you didn't properly censor that. These repair notes are fucking terrible. Like... If... It does it only, like... If it was running 64 gigabytes, it obviously accepts 64 gigabytes. So, are you saying there's a dead channel? Are you saying it's dead RAM? Are you stupid? Like, what? These are the worst possible note I've ever seen for a repair. This doesn't make any fucking sense. Awful repair notes. Like, that's a thing I'd be calling the ones like, what, the unit obviously accepts 64 gigabytes. Why is there not 64 gigabytes in there? Is this a situation where they didn't want to pay for the additional RAM because the warranty, you know, it expected the device to be a certain price? Who knows? Who knows? Whilst we're on the topic of RAM, not on RAM prices getting worse, but on maybe things getting a tiny little bit better. Huawei, the Chinese phone and various other company, laptops and other things, are building their own DRAM fab. Now, this is not going to affect the US because, again, the US, but everywhere else in the world, we'll see. Now, it very well may just be they're selling in the domestic market. And that very well could be possible. Because there was another kind of RAM as well. What was the Chinese RAM? Chinese RAM. Years ago, I was Chinese RAM. CXMT, yeah. Chengshin Memory Technologies. Yes, that one. Primarily sells in the domestic market. So I would presume that Huawei's probably going to sell in the domestic market as well. However, some of the stuff you can import relatively reasonably if you know how to do so. So maybe that has an effect. Granted, building a DRAM fab takes a while. Takes a little while. A couple of years. So any sort look, a lot of the predictions on RAM pricing is like 2030 at this point. So yeah, any sort of improvements probably won't be happening until then. Yeah. It sucks. It does suck. What is RAM price? You know, I've not looked at RAM pricing in a while. My understanding is from what I've heard, things have stabilized. Not gotten better, but have not gotten additionally worse since the peak. Where is memory? Here we go. DDR5, my postcode is not visible. Good. So, 2x16, $700 out of stock. 2x16 in stock, $700. 64s, $1,800. That is how much a GPU cost at one point. Okay, let's go cheapest 2x16, 1x32. Cheapest on PC case gear is in stock, $599 for 32 gigabytes of 5600 megahertz. CL46. Then we go 639, 6000 megahertz CL28. Same but in white. Similar in white. This is CL30. And that's the same price. Then you got another... Okay, so it seems like you can get 32 gigs of RAM in Australia right now for about mid-600. That does seem not... I think it's like maybe a couple of percent cheaper. RAM pricing. RAM pricing memory trend. Here we go. No, not DDR4 pricing. DDR5 pricing. Oh, maybe I just forgot the price. Okay, it seems like we had another spike in July. Did it go up? Maybe I didn't remember it being $500. Wait, oh, wait, is this median? Because that's saying like $700. We just saw memory that was cheaper than that. Like right now. Unless PC case gear is just offering better prices? Because like it's literally right here. 5600. Yeah, this is 6,000. And that is about $900. Is that chart's not out of date? Because I don't think it's out of date. Because it's like right here. That is, wait, I am looking at 32 gigabytes, yes? 2x16, 6,000. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's not $900. So unless there's just been like a big crash down to like here? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it is looking at, yeah, it might be looking at mean. Yeah, okay, so there are like 900, like $1,000 kits in here. So I think that's mean rather than median. It is mean, yes. I hate when people just say average. Okay, I'm gonna presume this is mean, not median, because otherwise it makes no fucking sense. Maybe median would be that high. I don't know, wait. Maybe median is that high. Either way, you can get RAM that's cheaper now. It's not where it should be. Don't get me wrong. This is not the price this should be. But you can get RAM that is not 900 Australian dollars at this point. What about storage? NVMe, let's go 512. Okay. What the fuck happened here? Okay. So that's 1 terabyte definitely went up. 512s didn't really move weirdly. I guess 512s would mostly be boot drives. So 1 terabyte NVMe, that's sitting around $350. I feel like I paid more for that when I bought a new one. Let me see what it's sitting at right now on here. Because again, we've established the graph is not exactly super useful. Where is fucking storage? What is it under here? The fuck is it under? Hard drive and SSD, right? Not storage. Why would it be under storage? That would only make sense. Okay, M.2. And let's go 1 terabyte low. Okay. Hold up. 249. This is not as bad. I'll have to go check what I purchased for. but I feel like this is less than I bought it for. So it does appear like, again, not where it should be, but it does appear like prices have mostly stabilized. Okay, maybe except mechanical hard drives. They're still getting worse. Mostly stabilized or down about 10-ish%. Now, down 10%, up 300%. So, not exactly where it should be, but not as bad as it could be. Yeah. GPUs mostly not... What the fuck is going on here? GPUs are mostly not moving. AMD stuff, not really. Nvidia stuff definitely went up. We'll see what happens with next gen, though. Maybe things are worse then. So it seems like right now is... not a good time to buy a PC. Absolutely not a good time to buy a PC. But certainly not as bad as it was. Yeah, okay. 9900 X3D. That also came down in price. That's the one I have yet? 9950? Did I buy 9950? Yeah, 9800. No, that's 9900. 9800 650. Okay, that's definitely... Sorry, for some reason I thought I bought the 9900. That's definitely down from where I bought it. Okay. So, again, not a good state, but not as bad as it was last year. Which is good. Which is certainly very good. I don't know what a fully spec'd out PC would cost right now. Like, it just... average PC. Let's not even go like full top end. Just like average normal PC. You're probably still close to $2,000 Australian. But you're not close to 2.5 Australian, which, you know, is better. It's better. It's not good, but it's definitely better. And I will take better. I can't change the market overnight, right? Like, I can't just immediately fix things. What I can do is make decisions right now that benefit me in a bad situation. And if that means not buying anything for a while, that means not buying anything for a while. And right now, I'm kind of good on hardware anyway. I don't need to buy anything. If I was gonna buy anything, it would be a GPU. And I don't even really care to upgrade anyway. I'd probably buy like what is an RX? 9070 is $899. It's a little rough. But I'm mostly happy on my 6750 XT. I'll probably, maybe I'll upgrade next generation to the previous generation. That's what I do a lot of the time. This is, like, my CPU I have right now, this is the first CPU I've bought that was current generation in... ever, actually. I've never bought a current generation CPU. Now, granted, it was a while into the generation, but I just don't buy new generation stuff, usually because when it's new, you have problems, and, you know, you don't want to deal with the problems. You let other people deal with the problems, and then you buy it later, and then you don't have those problems. Yeah. Do the same thing with GPUs as well. Usually have a relatively good experience. So we'll see. We'll see what happens to me around at the time when I decide to actually go and buy something. Yeah.